All right, for some analysis on this, joining me now live from the Pakistani capital, Islamabad, is Masood Akhtar, a former Pakistani Air Marshal. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. So what we are seeing right now from Pakistan's perspective, is it a counter-terrorism defensive measure, or are we seeing the security of the region being recalibrated?
I think it's a little more than counter-terrorism. Our state is being threatened by another country at the behest of somebody else. And like your correspondent was saying, India wants Afghanistan to fight this war as a proxy. In fact, Modi promised during all the previous skirmishes, especially the last year May attack, that they are going to decimate the Pakistan military, failed to do that. They are going to maybe break apart Pakistan, failed to do that. Their national security advisor, Ajit Doval, very clearly said, and I quote him, he said, "You do one more Mumbai, and that is alleged, mind you. We don't own those things up. There are problems within India." And he said, "You will lose Balochistan." So they're financing the operations in Balochistan, financing the operations in KPK, and they are giving money. And yesterday was the warning sign coming all the way from Tel Aviv. The hexagonal alliance that they have made, and they have said it is number one against the radical Shia state, and they said the radical Sunni, and they were wanting to mean that they are wanting to sort out Pakistan. So this is a little more than mere counter-terrorism. They threatened our state, they attacked. Our defense minister said all out, but mind you, this is a limited war operation, I would say, with limited objectives. Political military objective, take out enough assets of the Afghan government and that of the TTP, which is Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and Tehreek-e-Taliban Afghanistan, to achieve the political objective so that the Afghan government realizes in their mind that it is futile to support TTP, for which we have conclusive evidence with all their identity cards and all the kind of weapons that they have used in the terrorist attacks in KPK and in the recent Tarlai sectarian attack on a mosque. So it is not terrorism, it is more than that. Terrorism we are able to meet locally. Outside, we will have to move our military, and fortunately, we have a military which is fully prepared to take on the Afghan government. It took on the Indian government, and the Indian army military, it can take on the Afghan army.
I just want to make sure I get this right. So are you indicating that the Afghan Taliban are acting as a proxy for the Indian government? And this is why all of this is happening?
Yesterday, if you recall, Netanyahu, he made a specific, earlier on, it was only India that was saying, he said, Afghanistan is a friend of India and Afghanistan is countering a lot of difficulties, and he meant that they're going to give all out. So obviously, Afghanistan works as a proxy, although we in fact did not assess them correctly during the last one decade where we were helping them out to fight their wars, etc. We earned, and these people steadfastly are siding with Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan that want to create their own brand of Islamic State within KPK, which is not acceptable to us. And therefore, when the attacks came repeatedly in Bajaur, in Khyber, and then in, of course, Islamabad last week, this was totally unacceptable. So the defense minister said all-out war, but he meant all-out war with limited means, and we are going to limit the attacks, and that's what we have done. And so it is definitely a proxy that India is financing. Israel also has jumped in.
Okay, now let's talk about solution. Obviously, there is a lot of reaction that we are hearing from the international community right now. There are countries that want to mediate what's happening. Where do you think this is going to end, or perhaps when all of this is going to end? Are we looking at a limited war between the two countries, or would you say that this is something that could perhaps continue for weeks or months?
personally feel it will be limited. Reason: America does not want a war. They want a separate attack on Iran, and they don't want any distractions. Russia does not want war. China does not want war. The Arab states, by and large, like Qatar, etc., wish to mediate. Turkey doesn't want war between the two states. Russia has offered mediation if in case they are asked. The Iranians have offered to mediate. So I guess the contacts are already on, and probably this could de-escalate. I guess, contrary to what your correspondent was trying to indicate, in 3-4 days, hopefully.
Fascinating insights. Masood Akhtar, thanks very much for joining me here on TRT World. I really appreciate your taking out the time.